Young coming through, still defending going on. Oh, and yeah, Yafei trying to go around the outside of Dorian Boccolacci, so Boccolacci has to go defensive and runs deep through turn 3. Oh, Yafei trying to go down the inside of 4. That really won't help, and look at the momentum that Jaden Ajeda has right onto the tail of Yafei, because the two of them have really compromised each other, and now from attacking, Yafei have to go really defensive. And suddenly,
across the road, others go off in avoidance, and there's a big lose in the middle of the package. One of the Garage 59 McLarens that's gone around. I fear we're going to have to go safety car here. There's been one incident going into turn 1. There's another incident coming out of turn 1. Maro Engel leads the way, and I'm fearful that it's Dean McDonald's McLaren that we have lost, with Benji Gerter in second place. Others going off the road and back on, using that sort of bypass, coming down towards turn 4. But it's been a very dramatic start.
And the 32 car already on the front foot.
Not entirely sure I'd like to be Fabio Duffieux with all these cars behind me, as another one goes off the racetrack there. It's the Ferrari, isn't it? That was the car of possibly Froggatt, as the car get back on track. Certainly one Ferrari off the racetrack, and there, look, Cairoli getting up alongside the Porsche number 96 then, so it's Cairoli versus Sven Muller. Muller stays ahead just. He's on.
Teammates at Origin, and now you come into this no overtaking zone, and the Lamborghini running a bit deep, so does Frankie Cheng in the Audi. All of them picking up a lot of leaves as well. The circuit lined with trees that are about to start losing their leaves to the winter, and a lot of those leaves getting into the radiators, and that's going to be a concern, especially as the teams would have already made sure that there's
We have a time penalty going the way of Anthony Bartone for causing a collision on the opening lap when he turned around Magnus Gustafsson's Porsche. A 15-second time penalty for the number 6 Mercedes AMG.
I wonder whether that's a benchmark. You know, every championship's got a sort of benchmark.
Number 51 Ferrari. And
does Bastien Bous's tyres afford him a chance to close in on that Ferrari and potentially have a go, or is that just going to stay as it is?
Well, I think what benefited Leclerc was a really good in-lap, because the pit stop time was only about a 10th slower than the Porsche, but he's come out ahead, so it was a good in-lap. We've got one Ferrari being roughed up at Graham Hill.
You've got to obviously get on the brakes. It's a shame they adjusted the curb a few years ago after the compression, and we used to fly over that.
Yeah.
It slowed us down about half a second.
Oh,
now.
really? I remember Pittard telling me about that, and it was so very different. So we were trying to work out what had happened to Sims in the Alexander Sims in the Audi number 16, and it looked like it was.
I'd say that was a bold move, but Joe, it was a good one. That was amazing. There was so much confidence placed in Kevin Say. Kevin Say, a lovely driver on and off the track, and luckily for Morgan Tilbrook, he backed out of there. I think Tilbrook could have spun himself around there, but he asked the question of the 18 Mercedes, and Kevin Say backed out of it.
That was close. Chun Chong Yip up the inside of Richard Neary. I think a bit of paint traded between Honda and Mercedes, and they're still doing battle. Look as they arrive at the final corner. Nick Jones is in behind them. There was a battle in GT4. You are not allowed to overtake in the yellow flag zone. We are being told to prepare for a full course yellow. There is the full course yellow.
And there you see another take.
Oh, yeah, the 42. It's all got very congested, because the Jolt McLaren, the GT4 McLaren, had seen the yellow flags and the full course yellow boards, and some of the GT3 cars had not. I fear that we have not seen our last penalty for yellow flag infringements in this race.
So it's brought that EBM Porsche into the mix. We touched on that. The other car that it's really helped is car 888 Maxime Martin. That's that sort of dark red and black GMR Mercedes AMG. That's the 4th car in this queue. They started right at the very back of the field after issues yesterday. They are now very much back in contention and on a similar strategy to all of their...
trying to get away. Low grip conditions was where we first met Dorian Boccolacci in Okayama last year, when it was soggy and raining. And he was on slicks and doing such a great job. Oh, Adley Fong nearly losing the rear end of his Porsche and going into the back of Patrick Pilet. Just about got away with it. Daniel loop. He's able to...
With your logic, he is fighting every single position, be it overall or class.
And Boos having a go on the outside line, and while they squabble, that brings Kelvin van der Linde back into the pack, doesn't it now? So this for 6th, 7th and 8th places. Scharnhoff defending from Boos, and now, as Boos has got a bit stuck, that brings van der Linde a bit closer. Boos has another look to the inside line, can't find a way through there. He's getting ever more committed. I hesitate to say desperate, but the way that Boos is going, a bit more breathing space. Have our first track limit penalty being given. A pit stop of 30 seconds has been given to 888 Porsche Fabien Duffieux, as there David Pittard has to fend off Mikey Porter going down into turn 1. That helps to an extent Vermeulen, because while Porter is attacking Pittard and Pittard has to defend, it takes some of the pressure off Vermeulen. But Drudy has got away, hasn't he? Look, the gap has widened between those two Aston Martins.
Yeah, Vermeulen's last lap, a 45.3, a full...
In his Ferrari for 2nd position. Could it be an Audi 1-2? That would be remarkable. Not quite close enough to make a move. Ben Green did get Max Hussein, so he's already moved up 1 position, up to 8th position in his Corvette. Watch the charge. It's important for his Prince's Championship. Also, Bastien Boos needs massive movement.
I think 4th place as they come back to sight. Yes, he does. So it is Boos leading, Ludham 2nd, Engel 3rd, and really going for it. Kirchhoff a 4th. Really dramatic start.
Yeah, safely through the first couple of corners, 3 corners, 4 corners, so no one off the track. Yeah, that's good to see from this tight racing. Everyone's behaving themselves. It's going to be, even though it's only 1 hour, it's a long race. So many things can happen, as we saw from race 1.
Simon Feller, in contrast, is getting away again.
Yeah, this is a crazy race, how it ebbs and flows. And you think, did Feller control it there for a second? Did he push again? You know, it's not out of the realms of possibilities. Pit window open now.
And he comes in. So Feller dives in, and that could be really clever because he just gambled on it at the last moment to dive in. The others have carried on for another.
Getting airborne. Was that Vipperbud?
It was after Ice Curver. I'm just going to look up the precise corner, but I'm trying to work out how he did it. I think it was just that he caught a bump in the road. He wasn't around traffic, but he did incredibly well to stop the car and just glanced the barrier. But I'm sure that number 3 Mercedes is going to be carrying a bit of damage now.
There will be yellow flags in that sector, but this could go into a full course yellow and a lengthy one, couldn't it, to move the tyres back at the chicane and do 2 incidents for the price of 1.
And this is bad news, isn't it, for any team that has a substantial compensation time to serve in the pit lane. What they really want, and remember that 42 car is one of them, is a green flag first hour, build a gap.
But fair, but definitely show Petromelli the door at turn 1. But other cars behind just looked like they didn't want to give up the outside line and just ran onto the grass. So chaotic start, but thankfully everyone's still in the race.
But what you can't say in a 1-hour sprint round Alton Park is that you've got time to fight back, and with a punctured tyre already in trouble is Andrew Howard. He's stopped on the Foster's link, and Andrew Howard's race effectively is over, because by the time, even if they can get it back to the pit lane,
Daniel Serra in the Ferrari drives past the Porsche. So great restart from the BMWs. Not a particularly special one from Will Davison, I don't think. And that's Bottle is filled up.
They're going on here.
Side by side through Griffin's Bend. The Porsche is right in the thick of this. The absolute racing car's in there as well. And the silver class car with Bailey Hall, who's actually a lap back. So he's not fighting for track position. That's the red and white car, second.
Absolutely helping each other. Of course, Alexander Sims was in the 99 car for the first weekend of the year, before missing those rounds and being placed in the 66 for the second half of the season. Still very, very tight though, isn't it, between our pro drivers. Just a second separating Boccolacci and Ye at the front. And then a bit of a queue starting to form with Ojeda, Green, Boos, Sims, Menzel just about...
In the 59, so I think the 007, but yeah, look at the energy involved. You can see the Greystone car has hit the Porsche but had nowhere to go.
And Maxime Martin is also on the attack for 2nd place. Right, we're back racing then. So the GT World Challenge Europe powered by AWS Endurance Cup opener is green once more. Maro Engel leads them away then at the end of lap 6 down towards turn 1 with a bit of breathing space over Benji Goetze. Martin is 3rd, 4th.
Going well for him, the 96 car here, now looking at Froco's rear end.
Now Grenier, remember, was the leading Pro Cup car. He's now into the pit lane. That means that Jesse Kroon's BMW leads Pro. from Nicky Teams Aston, and up to third in Pro, Ugo de Wilde in number 32 BMW that was almost a day behind in the first part of the first stint, and now it's up to 7th overall.
46 Joel Eriksson, and 1 second for the 55 of Ye Yifei. So there's your new leader, the Nissan 500. Second, Nico Menzel. Third, Daniel Liu. And Max Hussein in the BMW is in 4th position. He's behind his